Hello everyone, this is me Garima Singh. So today I'll discuss about the solution of this chapter, that is theme 15, framing the constitution, the beginning of new era. So 14 is all about partition time. Now it's about framing constitution. So we will in this chapter through questions we will know about objective resolution when we discuss it. Then arguments in favor and against of provinces formed, and what Mahatma Gandhi think about this. Then, as well as we will discuss about the historical forces who shaped the vision of the constitution, as well as we will discuss different argument made in favor as well as in against. Then we will discuss about constituent assembly objective resolution. So there is a lot of things to discuss. So without wasting a time, let's directly move on to the question section. Here we go. So this is the timeline. As I can say, it's very useful because it's tell you about what chapter is all about in a very short form, along with year, like in the 1945 what happened, I think for 1946 what things happened. So go through this timeline by yourself. Let's move on to the question number one. What were the ideals expressed in the objective resolution? So Jawaharlal Nehru presented the objective resolution in the Constituent Assembly on 13 December 1946. It gave a brief account of the ideals and objective of the Constitution. Like first one, you can say India was declared an independent sovereign republic. Then justice, equality, and fraternity were assured to all citizens of India. Then other point was like adequate safeguard were provided to minorities. It also referred to the well-being of the backward and depressed classes, and it was made an objective that India would combine the liberal idea of democracy with socialist idea of economic justice, and India would adopt that form of government which would be acceptable to its people. No imposition from British would be acceptable by the people of India. Then India would work for peace and human welfare. So these ideas were expressed in the objective resolution. Next is who was the term minority defined by different group? How was the not who? How was the term minority defined by different groups? So N.G. Ranga, a socialist who had been a leader of the peasant movement, argued that the minorities be interpreted in economic terms. The real minority were the poor and the downtrodden. Some consider that real minority were the masses of our country who were so depressed and oppressed that they were at even able to take advantage of ordinary civil rights. Then spoke about on the of the need to protect the tribes, ensure conditions that could help them come up to the level of general population. Then third is what were the arguments in favor of greater power to the province? So K. Santaram, a member from the Madras, defended the right of the state in Constituent Assembly. He emphasized the need to strengthen the state. He was not in favor of vesting more power with center. He was of the opinion the center would not be able to perform its duties efficiently in case it is overburdened. The center will become automatically strong if all states are made stronger. He advocated that center should be given less power and state should be given more powers. And yeah, proposed allocation of power between center and state was also a matter of concern for K. Santaram. Then he felt that such a distribution of power would cripple the state. Then fourth is why did Mahatma Gandhi think Hindustani should be the national language? In view of Mahatma Gandhi ji, Hindustani was the language that common people could easily understand. Hindustani was a blend of Hindu and Urdu. It was also popular among a large section of the people. Moreover, it was a composite language enriched by the interaction of diverse culture. Words and terms from many different languages got incorporated into this language. Over the year, it made this language easily understandable by people from various regions. Then, as per Mahatma Gandhi, Hindustani would be the ideal language of communication between the communities. It would help to unify Hindus and Muslims and the people from north and south. Language came to be associated with politics of religious identities from the end of 19th century. That but Mahatma Gandhi retained his faith in the composite character of Hindustani. So let's discuss with the fifth question. what historical forces shape the vision of constitution. So there are various historical forces which shape the vision of our constitution, like certain basic value are were accepted by all national leaders as a result of Nehru report and the fundamental right resolution passed by Karachi session of Indian National Congress. Then universal franchise, the right to freedom, equality and protection of minority right were the B6 values. After the result of 1937 election, the Congress and other political parties were able to form the government in the province. This experience with the legislative and political institutions helped in developing an agreement over institutional design. Many colonial laws were also the source of the Indian Constitution. Even Government of India at 1935 was the major one. This basically led the way the Indian Constitution adopted many institutionalities and procedure from colonial law. Then the French Revolution also inspired the maker of the Constitution. The working of the parliamentary democracy in Britain and the Bill of Rights in the USA also inspired the framer of the Constitution. Then next is discuss the different argument made in favor of protection of the oppressed group. So it was felt that oppressed classes like tribals and untouchable required special attention and safeguard to enable them to raise their status and come to the level of general population. Tribal were regarded backward. They were not accepted well in society. They were almost rejected for their upliftment. They were required to be assimilated in the society. They were also required to be brought into the mainstream of society. So special protection and care were offered to them. In society, untouchable were treated as labor. Society used these services but did not give them respectable position. They were treated as outcast and kept isolated. Their suffering was due to their systematic marginalization. Lands of the tribal have been confiscated and had been deprived of their forest and pasture. Tribal and untouchable had no access to education. They did not take part in administration. So some legislation were required to improve their condition. Now next seventh question is what connection did some of the member of Constituent Assembly make between the political situation of the time and the need for a strong center? So on 15 August 1947, India became independent from British rule. It was declared as independent country, but this independence was painful also. India was divided and Pakistan came into existence. This partition was marked with communal violence. So many leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar favored a strong central government for India. For their view, they referred riots and violence that were ripping the nation apart. It was also felt that a strong center was the need of the hour. Most of the members of the Constituent Assembly also supported this view. Any deviation from this might jeopardize the interest of the nation. Peace, prosperity, and political stability was not possible in case of any weak center. It would fail to coordinate vital matter of common concern. So, Gopalaswamy Iyengar appealed to all the members of Constituent Assembly that the center should be made as strong as possible. It would also feel that only a strong and united center could plan for the well-being of country. Balakrishna Sharma also stated the similar view. It was also felt that it would mobilize all the resources, ensure strong defense against any aggressor and establish a proper administration. Even almost all the members of Constituent Assembly supported a strong central government. They felt that it was necessary to check chaos, communal violence, and to ensure economic development of the country. Then it is how did Constituent Assembly seek to resolve the language controversy? So India is a very big country. It has many different regions, different variety of people live here and speak different language. So for a new nation like India, it was necessary to give proper attention to the all the different languages. Hindustani was a choice for Congress and Mahatma Gandhi. Congress had already decided to adopt Hindustani as national language of the country when Mahatma Gandhi was also in favor of adopting Hindustani as national language and supported strongly for this view. He argued that everyone should speak in language which is understood by most of the common people. Hindustani was not a new language. It was a blend of Hindi and Urdu. Like I said, it was enriched by interaction of diverse culture and spoken by most of the people of the country. Then Hindi. So R.V. Dhulekar pleaded in favor of Hindi for adopting it as the national language. He came from the United Province and a congressman. He wanted that Hindi should be used as the language of constitution making. He even said that those who did not know Hindustani were not worthy to be the member of Constituent Assembly. Then various report of the language committee, like the language committee of Constituent Assembly, suggested a compromise formula in its report. It suggested that the Hindi in Devanagari script should be the official language of country and tried to resolve issue, as well as it is also suggested that transition from English to Hindi should be gradual. Even others also suggested that during first 15 years since adoption of constitution, English would continue to serve as for official purposes. So it was clear that language committee referred Hindi as official language, not the national language. They, the member of Constituent Assembly who belonged to the southern India were apprehensive of the view. They felt that Hindi would be a threat to their provincial language. So Shankar Rao from Bombay, T.A. Ramalingam Chetiyar and Mrs. G. Durgabai of Madras suggested that issue of language required utmost care and needed to be handled efficiently and effectively. Then, so Hindi should not be the thrust upon the people of South, like South India, the people who live in southern part of India. So that was this chapter is all about which language should be adopted as official language or a national language, and then various things about constituent assembly. So a number of things we have discussed in this chapter. That's for today. Thank you.